Regan Slaymaker from NotJustBoxing, and I have the pleasure to be joined by heavyweight contender Taran Willett. Taran, top tier media days. Could you get used to things like this in front of the camera and everything like that?
For me personally, I'm not really like a big kind of media guy. My social media is pretty bare bones, stuff like that. But you know, I can get used to it. It's alright. It's not too bad.
It definitely is, and it's all in aid of your fight with Dorin Krasmaru, May the 23rd, York Hall. What heavyweight fight this is? Obviously, it was a part of a wider tournament, but myself and Dorin, I think, the only ones left of that tournament. But this is a really, really great fight, knowing what I do about you and what I do about Dorin as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's supposed to start off as a tournament. And now it's gone into a single 6-rounder fight. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's both our first 6-rounders as well. And I believe he's also coming off a bit of a layoff too. So I think for both of us to go in there, I think it's going to be good. I think it's good for the pair of us. Do you know what I mean? People have asked questions. You know, you're going straight back into a tough fight, and you know, asking me, you know, would you have preferred a bit of an easier one first? And I'd like to just get straight back in there. I'd like to get straight back to it. You know, put myself back on the map. I feel like if you go in there against an easy opponent, you can get maybe a highlight or a knockout or something like that. But you don't really gain that much from it, you know. And I feel like as long as I go out there, put a good account of myself, I feel like I'll go places either way. You know what I mean?
Definitely, mate. Before we get into that layoff as well, obviously Dorin Krasmaru trains at the Peacock. Got good people around him, but obviously, like you said, a bit inactive. But outside of that, do you know much about him? Have you tried to watch some tape of him or anything like that?
I've seen a little bit. I've seen a little bit of tape of him. We're currently working on what I can do best against his style. I know he's that Peacock's got quite a lot of fights down there. Quite a lot of. I've sparred down there a couple of times, so I know there's some good people down there. But yeah, we're just like I said, reviewing the tape, and my trainers, I'll leave it in their hands just to kind of guide me on what I should be doing, how I should be doing it. Working on the head movement on short heavyweight, so I'll keep that head moving, get underneath the shots, work my way in, work the body. So yeah, it's pretty much.
You lot all start fighting definitely, mate, as well. And obviously, I've heard you mention a few interviews. Apologies that I'm repeating a few things.
No, it's fine.
But a bit of a break from boxing, a bit of time out. Just talk to me. Why the time out of the square turf?
So I was meant to fight in a fairly decent. I was supposed to fight Johnny Fisher. I was contracted to fight him. I believe it was June the 6th in 2023. I got injured in sparring, so that fight ended up falling through. After that, I kind of just took a little bit of a step back, met my new partner. She fell pregnant not too long afterwards.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So through the course of the pregnancy and the first year of my child's life, boxing wasn't really too much on the mind. To be honest, I didn't really plan on going back, and we ended up moving to a new area, just right down the road from CEO Boxing, and one of my old coaches just happened to be down there, and in a conversation I mentioned that I'd moved to the area, and he was like, oh, you should come down and get some pads, just come down and get some pads, that's it. And then yeah, one thing led to another, and sitting there doing interviews again.
I was going to say, the love never truly goes as soon as you start hitting that pad. Is that kind of, yeah, like you said, is that what brought you back? Just, I suppose the love can go from boxing, but as soon as you start hitting those pads, that love comes back. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I realised that I've got a little bit left in me still. Do you know what I mean? I still got something left to give. I look at the landscape in the heavyweight division today, and a lot of the guys are in their late 30s. You know what I mean? They're fighting for world titles. So I look at that, I think to myself, I still got time. You know what I mean? And just going back down the gym, hitting the pads, doing a little bit of sparring, made me think I need to do this while I still can do this, you know, before I get too old to do it. You know, and I just thought, well, give it another shot, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to get to 40 years old and think, you know what, I wish I gave it another try. So I just don't want to live with any regrets. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that's on me.
definitely as well, and obviously the fight live on the zone as well. A heavyweight contest live on the zone. I mean, this could very much be your audition to put yourself back in the mix for I don't know, Johnny Fisher if you get a good couple of wins under your belt, or if you get a highlight reel KO, one of those other heavyweights coming through. You never know. You could make with a good performance, make a homestead on the zone in these 15 plus.
Well, that's the main reason that we went through this fight in the first place, because obviously the zone is, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest boxing network on the planet at the moment. So just being on the zone, you know, when I told my mates, yeah, I'm fighting on the zone, you know, it piques interest, you know what I mean? And like you said, it's a fantastic opportunity for me to display what I can do. And to me, I'm the kind of guy, I think things happen for a reason, and this opportunity has been put in front of me, and there's no way that I'm going to pass it up. You know what I mean? I've taken it with both hands, and I'm basically fighting for my life in there, man. That's the way I see it.
Definitely, and I look forward to this fight. It's a really, really intriguing fight between yourself and Dorin as well. Two great guys, man, as well. I was speaking to you today and speaking to Dorin when he was supposed to fight in December on the huge boxing show that I was working on. Two great guys, so boxing can only win in this scenario as well. But Taran, my final one, we ask everyone who comes on the channel this, when all said and done. We've kind of touched on it, but I'm going to ask a question anyway. When all said and done, what does boxing mean to you?
What does boxing mean to me? That's a deep one.
Sorry to get deep, but I like it on deep notes.
Boxing to me is one of the things that defines who I am as a person. I developed a lot as a human being through boxing, you know, through the adversities, you know, overcoming the fear, you know, you're going in there and fighting another big human being that can knock your head off, overcoming things like that builds character, you know, and it's really changed me into a much better person than I would have been. You know, I come from an area that wasn't the worst in the world, but it definitely wasn't the greatest. And I look at how I changed after I started boxing. I started distancing myself from certain things, from certain people, and it saved me. I know it sounds like such a cliche to say.
It's true. It's not cliche. It's true. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, fair. But it's definitely my life wouldn't be the same without it. You know what I mean? And anyone I ever meet, if they've got even the slightest interest in boxing, I always try to convince them to pursue it because I hope they can do for them what it's done for me.
Definitely, it's the greatest feeling there. Taran Willett, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck in your fight with Dorin Krasmaru.